name is Felicia Garrett, and I chose this week's lesson for first grade. And the teacher objective is the subject's literary elements. The teacher objective is the teacher will identify story elements including speaker, narrator, settings, characters, plot, and problems and solutions. And first, we're going to start the lesson by reviewing last week's lesson that introduced common word wall families to help students to learn and identify and read these common word families. We're going to watch the 2 videos from the last lesson, and I've included the links in my lesson plan. Unfortunately, I do not have my laptop to be able to play the videos for the review part of it, but we'll need a video and a smart board or a laptop to play these 2 videos. And the one video is on the IT word family, it, and the other one is on the at word family, at. And after we watch those videos, I'm going to ask the students 3 questions. What word family does cat belong to? And hopefully they'll say at. And question 2, what word family does sit belong to? And they will answer the it family, the it family, it. What word family does ran and can belong to? So this is different from the videos. I want to make them think a little bit. Well, that's a little different. So and belongs to the and family, the and word family. Okay, next we'll have an overview. The overview is the purpose of this lesson is to help students be able to identify story elements, including speaker, narrator, setting, characters, plot, and problems and solutions. Last lesson, we introduced common word wall families to help the learner identify and read these common word families. Today we'll identify story elements, speaker, narrative, settings, characters, plot, problems, and solutions. In the next lesson, we will retell the stories beginning, middle, and end. Okay, next we'll go with the motivation. Okay, for the motivation, I'm going to read. This is Funny Lunch, and it is by David Catrow. And I included the Amazon link in my lesson plan. See, as you can see, the front, it's a silly dog. He looks like a cocker, I believe he is a cocker spaniel. He's got his little chef hat on, and I'm wearing my little apron. I'm going to come into the room wearing my apron. I don't have a chef hat, unfortunately. My brother is a chef. I wish he was living in town. That way I could get a little chef hat from him, but I figured the little apron would do. And I'm going to come in with a pizza box, story element pizza, and we'll look at that later, but as for right now, I'm going to set it to the side. Right now we're just going to read our Funny Lunch book. So we're going to open it up. You see the silly little pictures. It says, "My name is Max. I am not a dog." And he's jumping in his bed being silly. He's got little pajamas on. He's really funny. "I'm a great chef." You can see the picture. "My great grandpa, Axe Spaniel, was a chef." So as you can see from the toaster, it looks like he may be burning that toast. It looks a little smoky there from what I can see. So he may not be able to cook too good. Next, you see his funny hats. "When I get dressed, I have to look just right." This is why I wish I had myself a chef hat. Then he looks at the different hats, a boat hat, and he looks at the hat with the umbrella on it. And then he looks at that, looks like maybe a sailor's hat or a captain's hat, some type of old military uniform hat. And he says, "No, no, no, yes." And what kind of hat is that? That is a chef hat. Chef is like a cook, of course. Okay, and then we wash our paws before we work. They're being clean. And this is his little friend here. He looks like a little cat, and he is washing his paws by licking his little paws. "We make the special of the day, pizza pie." And they're cooking. "We roll, we pat, we toss, We put the pizza in the oven. And they are just looking like they're having a good old time. They're jumping up and down on the pizza. They're laying on the pizza up here. He's tossing the pizza. And here he is. He has the pizza on his head. Lunch is busy. A Tommy growls. I growl back. Urgh. See, Max is growling at him. He thought somebody was growling at him, but it's somebody's Tommy because they're hungry. Everyone is hungry. Welcome to Max's. Would you like to try the special? They're trying to get looks quite busy in there. No, thank you, he says. Chilly for me, so I bring him a scarf. This will warm you up. Well, that's kind of silly because I believe he is wanting some chili to eat. I don't think he's telling Max that he is chilly. Welcome to Max's. Would you like to try the special? No, thank you, she replies. I will have a hot dog. You see the little baby dog there ordering her hot dog? So I bring her a hot dog. This is what Max does. He's standing there. He's a dog and he's hot, so he has the fan blowing on him. And that just shows you just how much more silly Max is. I sing, I dance, I do a little magic. I hear the takeout bell. The driver barks, 100 pizzas with everything. Uh-oh. Looks like they're about to get really, really, really busy at Max's Diner. As you can see, it says Max's Diner at the top. And this big bus pulls up. You know when you go to the restaurants and you see a big school bus pull up with lots of kids on a field trip and you're thinking, oh goodness, there's going to be really, really busy in here in a minute. Yippee! We mix, we roll, we bake. Oh no, it's not a pizza pie. It's a pizza mess. What are we going to do? And as you can see, they have made quite a mess in that kitchen. They started off looked like they were doing pretty good. Now they're making quite a mess. So Max decides to do something. A great chef thinks on his feet. Here's Max, and he is on the phone. As you can see, he has the yellow page, the phone book out here, and he's looking in there, and there you can see it says Joe's Pizza. We race to Joe's Pizza. We race to Joe's Pizza Palace. We race back with a leaning tower of pizzas. Now, here's the full bus again. And it looks like everybody is eating some pizza. Pizzas for everyone. And there's Max and his little cat buddy. And they look happy. Everybody's happy on both pages. Now, a pizza party for both of us, for us. And Max and his little friend are having their own pizza party and they're celebrating. The end. Okay, now, once we've read that, I'm going to demonstrate an activity. Here's our story element pizza box, and just kind of modified pizza box, as you can see. See, I put the pizza inside of it. We're going to have a story element pizza activity. And what I did, I just drew some a circle, like a little squiggly line, and made it look similar to a pizza, and then divided it into slices. And I pre-wrote, if I was in class, I would pre-write the title Funny Lunch by David Cutro. And first I started out by I pre-wrote speaker or narrator, setting, characters, plot, problems and solutions. And then on each little, I pre-did these also, the little red construction paper here. On each one, it has what each one means. And I'm going to go over this with the class. For example, I'm just going to go over a couple of them. I'm going to go over with the class and explain to them. A speaker or narrator means who is telling the story. Of course, that would be Max in our story. So we would glue this one, who is telling the story, under speaker or narrator. The next one is setting. Where did the story take place? And that's where the setting. And I'm also going to explain to them, this can also be what time or place. And then the characters. Who was in the story? What did they do? Well, it was Max and his little cat friend. We don't know his friend's name, but they were both in there. So then we will glue this one here. And I'm going to show where each one goes to the students. And I want this, they can also keep this. And it's small enough that they can keep it for reference for later on. If they have another class or have another, they may not save it, they may, but if they have another class or something similar where they need to know the different story elements, they can refer back to this. So, after we've glued our pizza, and I just glued these on with a little glue stick on the different little slices. After we do that, and of course I'll be observing and listening to them. We'll discuss this orally, the whole class. And the next thing will be the story element worksheet. After we get through with our story element pizza, I made up several worksheets. I found the original template online was actually it was called the Follow the Yellow Brick Road. And I put the original link in the lesson plan so you could go. I didn't want to I want it to be like stealing someone's idea, or so here's this, and this was the original thing, so it gave me an idea. And it also has, you can see it says next, and that's part of the plot, what happened after the beginning. And then each part of the story elements are on these worksheets. So what I did was I took and modified them to fit my story, and I made them into, I put the I made the copy of the title, put it up here instead of Follow the Yellow Brick Road. I just the funny lunch title, and I did this, which is the character, setting, problem, beginning. The problem and the solution. The solution's on the next page, but beginning is part of the plot. And this, next, then, finally, and the solution of their problem is on this page. And on the original worksheets, it did not have this, so I just used the border and the top, and then I made this part myself with paint. The speaker narrator, who is telling the story. And what I did was I copied some pictures from the book for the kids to look at. For instance, the setting, I copied and I reduced the size of the image so the students could look at where does this story take place. And here is Max's Diner. I had to trim it, and I would probably make this a little better. I almost made them too large to glue into this spot, but here's Max's Diner for the setting, and then for the characters, I had made reduced copies of the pictures in the book for Max and his cat friend, and then there they are here. And then, for instance, the problem, when they made a big mess in the kitchen, they thought, oh no, what are we going to do here? So, and I've glued, and I will go over this, of course, orally, and observe the kids and explain all this to them, but I'm also going to let them glue the different pictures on for different things. Like the characters, I cut these out into small, and I want to pass each set of each of these out to the kids, like this, and they'll glue each one into the proper the proper title there, the proper section, like the speaker narrator. There's Max. He's the one telling the story. He's the one letting us know what's going on. And then we have the characters, which Hillman has cat friends, and there they are. And that's what are they doing? They're cooking. They cook most of the book, you know. And then there's the problem. They make a big mess. And then here's the beginning. At the beginning, Max is saying, "I'm a great chef. I'm not a dog. I'm a great chef." And this is the beginning of the book. So, and I'll also pick up the book and show the kids. Remember, this was the beginning, and then, you know, this happened next. They cooked for their diner, and then this big bus showed up. Then they cooked and made a mess, and finally they went and got pizzas to feed everybody, and at the end they had a party themselves, a pizza party. Down here was the solution for the book. So we went over that. We'll go over that, and I'll let them take this home to look over. For closure, I'm going to ask the students several questions. I'm going to ask, who is the speaker or the narrator, which means who is the one telling the story, and I'm going to let everybody answer out loud as a whole class. I'm going to ask them, where did the story take place, which is another way of saying the setting, which I'll say to them also. And how did they solve their problem, which is another way of asking, what was their solution? How did they solve their problem? For homework, I'm going to get them to take their worksheets and their element pizzas home and look over them with their parent or guardian. And for early finishers, I will let them color their pictures on here, similar to the ones in the book. And special needs, we'll have a paraprofessional go over the worksheets and read the book to them one-on-one and explain to them, you know, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end, and then this little dog's the character, you know, different things like that, and explain to them in detail a little bit more so they understand better. Mediation, students will get in groups later in the day and go over the worksheets again. And for enrichment, students will be allowed to go to the computer lab and look up videos about story elements. And that's the conclusion of my lesson. Thank you.